Hello and welcome to Thursday's programme.
Coming up tonight between now and 6:30.
Good evening. A mother from Camborne in Cornwall has told us of the moment she realised her 9-week-old baby's life hung by a thread.
Reggie Thomas was rushed to hospital by his mum Chloe Skinner with meningitis. Thanks to her swift actions, medical staff were able to save his life. Grace Pascoe has been speaking to Chloe.
Well, joining me to discuss this further is Claire Wright from Meningitis Research Foundation. Claire, thanks very much for joining us this evening. Shocking story there from Chloe and little Reggie, but Chloe clearly did the right thing, didn't she, by taking him to hospital?
Yes, she did.
In Reggie, the rash didn't appear until a little bit later. Is that something that parents should be looking out for, or the other symptoms should indicate for them to take their child to hospital? And babies are the most at risk from this, aren't they?
Yes, babies
are up to date on the symptoms and are aware of how serious and how quickly it can escalate.
Well, meningitis widely as possible.
The advice is if you think something's wrong, then get help as soon as you possibly can.
Exactly.
To other news now, and sprinklers are to be installed in every new council-built property in Cornwall. The local authorities...
Tributes have been paid to a man who died following a serious collision on the A30 near Daisymount in Devon. It's
been announced that Prince Charles and the Duchess of Cornwall will visit the Royal Cornwall Show. The event starts 2 weeks today.
Now, a woman who drove her car onto the course of the Plymouth Half Marathon says organisers failed to advertise the extent of the road closures well enough.
Jo Pine and her neighbours couldn't drive in or out of their homes between 4 o'clock in the morning and 3 in the afternoon. She's also told ITV News she's deeply sorry for the chaos her actions caused. She's been speaking to our reporter Bob Cruz. And there is still plenty more to come on this evening's programme before 6:30, including a big...
And after us, the ITV News continues with the national and international stories at 6:30. Alistair Stewart has the details. But next tonight, the mother of a severely disabled boy from Redruth in Cornwall is suing the Flambards theme park for failing to provide a suitable changing places lavatory.
Adam George's mother Rachel says Flambards in Helston discriminated and failed to make reasonable adjustments for her 11-year-old son under the Equality Act. We can speak to Rachel.
Well, just to reiterate, we've had a statement from Flambards, and in it they say
Next on this evening's programme, to a new study which calls into question just how effective some water-resistant sunscreens are after they're exposed to conditions similar to swimming pools and the sea.
Ahead of the big half-term getaway next week, the consumer group Which has found some lotions could lose their ability to protect as promised by more than half.
Well, every year there are nearly 2,000 cases of malignant melanoma in the southwest. Matt Price has this report.
Well, if you want to find out more about the warning signs around skin cancer and melanomas, then head to our website. There's plenty of advice. It's itv.com/West Country.
Now, with less than a year until we leave the European Union, the South West's MEPs say they still have a significant role to play in their last few months before they lose their jobs.
Yeah, we'll be losing 6 representatives after Brexit. Our political correspondent David Wood has been speaking to some of the region's MEPs in Brussels.
Claire Moody became an MEP 4 years ago, and if it wasn't for our exit, well, she'd be starting her campaign for re-election.
Not commonly referred to in popular opinion, but most politicians do come into politics to make the world a better place. And, you know, I will be very, very sad to lose my role as in, you know, and that gives me that opportunity to try and improve the world. So, of course, personally.
Now, the NHS is celebrating its 70th birthday this year. It was founded on the simple principle that healthcare should be available to all according to their need and free at the point of delivery.
Well, often it's in the headlines for the challenges it faces, but in a special ITV Tonight programme later this evening, some of the good news stories from the NHS are told, as Kevin Ashford now reports.
And you can see much more on that this evening at 7:30 here on ITV. To sport now, because Exeter City's players held their final press conference ahead of the Bank Holiday Monday League Two playoff final with Coventry.
In cricket, the good news is that Somerset spinner Dom Bess made his England debut today against Pakistan in the first test at Lord's. Alex has joined us in the studio, but before we get to the weather forecast, you had a bit of a mishap earlier today. I dared Alex to touch his toes. Let's take a look at what happened. I feel really bad about that, actually.
That was all my toes.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, if I touch my toes, my shirt will rip. But they didn't believe me. So you saw
Very
what
lucky
happened.
you had a
I've obviously
spare,
put on
Alex.
a bit of timber.
That's what we're up to in our lunch break here
Yeah,
at ITV News West Country. Better talk about the weather though, Alex, hadn't we?
Yeah, what's
Yeah, the holiday weekend.
Stick to the forecast, not the dancing. Come on.
But actually, yeah, this weekend is.
Alex, thank you very much indeed. And just before we go, let's give you a quick reminder of the main headlines here in the West Country this evening. A mother...
That's it from all of us on this evening's programme. I'll have the late news at the usual time of 10:30.
But now I'll hand you to Alistair Stewart as the ITV News continues. From all of us here, enjoy your evening. We'll see you tomorrow at 6.
Bye-bye.